Welcome back to The Quiet Part Out Loud. I'm Alex.
And I'm Nuvyn. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Nuvyn, I had a really cool conversation this weekend about career transitions. And it was around layoffs. So I have experience with that. Have you ever been laid off?
I've never been laid off.
Oh my gosh. It's such an interesting topic.
Wait, were you fired or were you laid off? Or are these two separate incidences?
I was never fired.
Okay.
No, I was never fired. My background is in working in large organizations. And the first time I was laid off, it was like
Devastating.
devastating, so traumatizing. My identity was this job. I got a new leader. Personalities collided. And I was laid off. I was restructured out. And it took me many, many months to recover from that. It was just very difficult. And I think the more you get laid off, the more you're kind of okay with it.
But you know what? To your point about your identity being so ingrained and focused and aligned with what you do, you see that all the time.
Yeah.
You know, and if anything, that is the goal for people to be like, I am a banker. I am a lawyer. Like, this is who I am. So if you're not that, how do you define who you are?
Totally. And I really feel like I had to learn that lesson. I mean, I was doing everything wrong. I was using my corporate phone exclusively. I had to learn that lesson that like there is a line between work and your life. And I had to learn that lesson. But then I was a part of a mass layoff. I was a part of COVID. It was technically a layoff, but I was packaged out because of COVID. And those two instances were so much easier for me, and it was not traumatizing. So my question for you today is if you were going through a career transition, or if you were maybe in the market,
considering another opportunity, what would it be?
What would it be? And what advice do you have for people who are going through that right now?
The only thing I fantasize about is going back to school.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
I would be an eternal student if I could.
Okay, so you have a bachelor's degree.
And a master's. I would go back to school.
Would you do your PhD or would you do like another master's?
I just love the environment of learning and being a student. Or maybe I'd do something totally different. Than like a PhD or maybe I'd go to law school. Like I have so many, maybe it's because I have so many regrets that I wish I had studied something else.
Right.
And I try not to let that influence my parenting of my kids who are now thinking about university. But of course it does. But at least I tell them that I am biased because I wish I had done that. So therefore you should give this a second thought. But I would totally go back to school.
So what would the subject matter be?
Okay. So I did my undergrad in political science. And then I went to Europe and I did a graduate degree in international conflict resolution, which served me very well when I lived in Washington, D.C. for 12 years. But I wish I had done my undergrad in a skill-based or a professional degree. Even if I didn't want to be a nurse or a teacher or an accountant or a lawyer, I wish that I had been able to graduate knowing that I could get a job in a field
you have a profession.
Of study.
Yes.
As opposed to, well, I got a political studies degree. That was interesting. I guess now I'll go to grad school.
Yeah.
Which was kind of the my sequence of education. So I tell that to my kids. I'm like, listen, I don't buy I just want to find myself. And I think you need to be purposeful in at least goals-oriented or outcomes-oriented in what you're trying to achieve through your educational experience. And I think some of that is a skill or a profession. Otherwise, take a year and go to Thailand.
Or find something where there's going to be a gap and you will be successful. I mean, the trades these days are so hot because nobody has taken them for so long that they're hard to find. Right. It's hard to find good ones.
Yeah.
So that's a great kind of functional.
Yeah. Okay. Speaking of trades, can I share what I did on the weekend? I know this is totally outside of our podcast, but it was just a moment of such pride for me. And then also me feeling really pathetic because it was a Saturday night and this is what I was doing. But I changed my bathroom faucet.
Oh, that's great.
Like I YouTubed it.
Yeah.
I know how to shut off the hot water valve. I got a wrench. I did it all by myself. And you know what? I have never been so proud.
I'm so proud of you.
Oh yeah, I took pictures of it. I texted it to everybody I know. My goodness, I practically posted it on Instagram, other than I didn't want people to feel like, or to realize that this is what Nuvyn does on a Saturday night. But really, I replaced my bathroom faucet and it looks amazing.
You didn't even call your backup handy.
No, I just had to watch
911.
that YouTube video probably 15 to 18 times so that I could really understand how it, like, because I had to get like WD-40 because I couldn't get like something unstuck. And then now I don't want to use it though because I'm worried it's going to leak. But so maybe I will have to call a plumber to help me. But you know what? We have to take pride in these small moments. I'm sorry I digressed, but it is so outside my character and I just wanted to share.
It's nice to have hobbies.
That's true. So maybe my career transition would be Nuvyn would go back and be a plumber because clearly YouTube and I have something on the go here.
Well, now you're an intermediate plumber.
True. I just need the designation. Yes, I should have done that.
When you have navigated these kind of questions in the past, what do you go through? I mean, like you and I talk about all the time, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. So how do you land on a path?
I think that sense of fulfillment and productivity is really important. And we've shared with each other that, you know, I don't think that you should do this, like do what you love. And, you know, when you confuse love with what you do for a living and what you are paid or compensated to do, you can have those really life-shattering, devastating moments where if this is my identity and this is not who I am anymore, who am I?
Yeah.
And so I think it's important that you love the experiences that earning a living provides for you. And knowing, you know, what are your boundaries? What are you willing to sacrifice? What are your goals? And how do you ensure that your professional path aligns with the life that you want to lead?
I also think there is a pride in doing something you maybe didn't think you could do, a sense of accomplishment in, you know, problem solving or figuring something out. And so following your passion or, you know, I love this one thing, I should do this for my job, it doesn't connect for me. I just, you know,
So if you were going to do a career pivot or transition, what would that be? Would you be an eternal student? Would you...
I think I am an eternal student. I've taken many kind of like postgraduate certificate type programs, and I always follow my curiosity, but it's always skills based. It's always like, I want to learn about futures thinking or strategic frameworks, but it's like, it's always a one thing. I have my Bachelor of Commerce degree. And so my next step that I should have done was an MBA. And I never did that because that to me was just pointless.
Really?
If I was going to do a master's, I would want to do it in something interesting. Like,
you didn't see it as a means to an end professionally?
Yeah. I don't think I need to go to school to become a leader after having gone to school for business. Like, I just don't think that, I didn't think it was necessary. And somebody can prove me wrong. Give me a call. But I do not have my MBA. Because I was getting real world experience in the work that I was doing. And so I always just kind of like follow what I'm interested in. I worked in tech, I worked in banking, I worked in AI. I think all of those experiences are better education sometimes than school.
I do think that this next generation will have a series of gigs as opposed to one career. And that is a change from certainly from our parents' generation, where you oftentimes worked at a place until you retired. And so maybe that flexibility to adapt and to take on new skills is something that should be rewarded or valued maybe more than it is. These
And so
inflection
knowing
points.
that, do you think traditional education is the answer for our kids? Or again, should it be these sort of little certificates and self-learning experiences instead?
Yeah, I think the traditional educational approach isn't going away anytime soon. I think there are societal and financial structures that are built around that. But I think it will continue to evolve.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So interested to hear, what do you think? What career path or journey or pivot transition would you pursue next?
The Quiet Part Out Loud is produced by Access Connects and brought to you by... Oh, wait, is there a sponsorship opportunity there? Learn more at accessconnects.com.